Creative Brain Candy, by creators for creators.
We've been experimenting with the plasm we found in the subway tunnel. Careful.
Should I get spoons?
Don't bother. Watch this.
Go ahead, Ray.
You! You worthless piece of slime! You ignorant, disgusting blob!
You're nothing but an unstable short-chain molecule!
You foul, obnoxious moth!
You have a weak electrochemical bond!
I have seen some disgusting crud in my time, but you take the cake! You're just...
This is what you do with your spare time.
Peter, this is an incredible breakthrough. I mean, what a discovery, a psychoreactive substance. Whatever this stuff is, it responds to human emotional states.
Mood slime.
Oh, baby.
You mean this stuff actually feeds on bad vibes?
Like a cop in a donut factory.
We've been running tests to see if we can get an equally strong positive reaction.
What kind of test?
Well, we sing to it, and we talk to it, and say supportive, nurturing things to it.
You're not sleeping with it, are you, Ray? Oh, you. It's always the quiet ones. You hound.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Smoking and Drinking in Space. This is a sci-fi podcast from a couple guys who think they know sci-fi. And this week we review the movie that's a bootleg copy of the original, where a group of guys get dressed up in coveralls and get slimed while causing massive amounts of property damage, all in the name of fighting paranormal crime, starring Bill Murray, Harold Ramis, and Sigourney Weaver. It's 1989's Ghostbusters 2. But first, he's the CPA turned hellhound turned tax attorney to my cellist turned hellhound turned art restorer. It's Rob. How are you doing, Rob?
I'm doing pretty good. Don't ever ask me to be your regular attorney. I just do tax law, and occasionally I dabble in some other stuff.
And you're about as competent as he is. So we have a special guest on this week. He's the guy who put his money where his mouth was if his foot was money. And he's 1/3 of the hosts on the Video Game Lounge. It's John. How are you doing today, John?
I'm doing okay. Are you going to tell your listeners exactly why I'm here?
Yes.
You're going to rub it in?
Yeah. So we're going to rub this in.
Oh, yeah.
So John and I happen to be in the same fantasy football league this year, and I kind of invited him to the group. We needed to fill some slots in the group, and John said yes. So he joined the fantasy football group, and then he messages me one day and says, "Hey, let's make this interesting." And I go, "Interesting how?" And he says, "Well, when we go head to head, the loser has to go on the other person's show." And I was like,
hold on a second.
Okay.
Hold on. How is that a punishment? Because, wait, does that mean you lost because we had to have John on here?
Wow, Rob.
I'm confused.
Okay. That's how we're going
so
tonight.
confused.
No,
Right.
he lost because he has to podcast with you now.
But then
Yes.
wait. If he won,
well,
does that mean that I was going to have to go podcast on his show?
No, because that would be a punishment for him.
Jason would have come on VGL. So, okay, Jason invites me to the Fantasy Football League, and then he gives me all the details about what type of league, how many guys, and all that. And then at the end of it, he goes, "I look forward to kicking your ass."
Oh, so there
I
was
said,
trash talk
okay.
involved.
Well, yeah,
of course.
Gotcha.
Jason's not telling the
Always
full
trash
truth
talk.
here.
I see.
So he trash talked, and going into our head-to-head matchup, he was 0-5, and then of course he gets his first win against me.
Wow.
So
I don't think I was 0-5.
You thought it was a sure
were
thing.
0-5.
You thought it was a sure win, didn't you? You're like,
I did.
All right, I just got myself a guest host, my very first guest host for Jason. Yes.
Yep. So Rob, you have news this week?
Wait, are you in
so now
charge
you're
now?
just taking over.
Perfect. Yeah, I do. Actually, thanks for asking. You want superhero news or space news, Jason?
I don't want superhero news.
Perfect. So good news. Eternals
God
has
damn
Eternals has made $71 million at the box office as of today. So that's not too bad, considering it has a 48% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow,
for
that bad?
for the critics, yes. This is the Eternals has the distinct pleasure of being the one and only Marvel Cinematic Universe movie
Under 50?
to be rated rotten.
Wow.
Anything lower than 60 becomes rotten, apparently. And it's sitting at a nice, cool 48. It was sitting at a 55 prior to release on Thursday from critics. So there's that.
Wait, is that critic score or audience score?
So that's a critic score. Audience score is up there in the 81%. So
okay, so
Wow.
the audience
critics,
likes it.
I always ignore the critic score
I do
because
too.
the critics are typically way separated from the zeitgeist of the times. I mean,
Right.
critics hate everything, and yeah, I just don't trust critic scores.
Yes, but this is the first Marvel first MCU movie to have to be rotten from Rotten Tomatoes from the critics.
Yeah, but I'm much more. I trust the audience score a lot more than the
Right.
critic score.
So
I agree.
I think Thor: Dark World was the next one that got close.
Okay, if critics liked Thor: Dark World more than they liked the Eternals, that proves my case.
Yeah, right. So Thor: Dark World got a 66%. So
Oh God, yeah, critics are fucking idiots.
yeah, I don't know. And we'll talk more about this next week. Well, no, 2 weeks. Next week is this.
See, you don't
Yeah.
even know.
2
You don't
weeks.
even know when your own shows come
Well,
out.
I know it comes out. It doesn't come out this week because this week is Iron Man, and so then next week is this show, Ghostbusters 2, and then the week after would be Eternal. So technically, I guess when listeners are listening to this, it'll be next week. So next week we'll talk a little bit about critics and their stupid bullshit. But anyway, despite that, 71 million opening weekend. That's not too bad. Shang-Chi got 75.3 million on Labor Day weekend. So, it's right there in the ballpark of what's been happening this year.
I'd say that's pretty good for a non-holiday weekend.
Exactly. Yeah, it's right in the ballpark of what they've been doing this year so far. So, I'm okay with it. So, there's your superhero news. You ready for some space news?
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
a sci-fi show, you dipshit.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. So we found space teeth.
What?
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 Huh?
Where?
Yeah, out in space.
Okay,
Duh.
first
Hence
define
space
teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So scientists have found an element that is found inside our teeth out in space. But saying, hey, scientists found an element out in space that is also in our teeth did not sound near as cool as saying scientists found space teeth.
Okay. So
What
they didn't
element
find a damn
did they
thing.
find?
Fluorine. So they found the fluorine element 12 billion light years away in another galaxy. So
And this is the first time they've observed fluorine in space?
It looks that way, yes.
Did you read the article or did you just look at the pictures?
Look, I mean, what do you think?
Yeah,
What do you
I know,
really
I
think?
know which one you did.
Right. So the fluorine was present as hydrogen fluoride in a gas cloud of the NGP 190387 galaxy. Not to be confused with the NGP 190386 galaxy, okay? Or the 388. 3 different galaxies. We're talking about 387. You with me so far?
It sounds like it could be a sarlacc. That's what I'm going with.
It could be. It
from a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, it does look like a space butthole on this picture. Anyway, so yeah, they found the fluorine in some hydrogen fluoride in the form of hydrogen fluoride in a gas cloud. And apparently this is one of the first times that they have found it that far away. So they're kind of interested, or they're intrigued by it.
So it doesn't sound like this is the first time they've seen fluorine out in space. It's just the first time they've observed it that far.
Well, it is a telltale sign. Well, what's exciting about it is it's a telltale sign of stars that probably lived fast and died young, as they said. Yeah, right. So it pinpoints to a Wolf-Rayet star. I don't know what a Wolf-Rayet star is because I didn't want to.
You can barely spell star.
Yeah, I didn't want to click on the hyperlink that went to it because I was a little concerned that it might infect my computer. This isn't exactly the most reputable website that I'm on with this news. It is.
Oh my God! What fucking website did you pull this from?
Oh, CNN.
God damn it!
Oh my God!
Yeah. So
I was about to say I didn't think they had news articles on porn sites.
Right,
yeah.
You know.
Apparently, Wolf-Rayet stars are massive stars, and only about 1 out of 100 million stars are massive enough to be classified as a Wolf-Rayet star. So, yep, there we go.
All right, what other news you got this week?
Oh, that's it. That's all I
Thank
got.
God.
That's all I got.
Who's ready for a pod crawl?
Let's do this.
Sure.
That's my line.
We can call it, I don't know, say a pod crawl? The pod crawl! Pod crawl! Pod crawl! Pod crawl! Excellent! Insert it deep! Pod crawl! Kind of like a space suppository full of information.
It's 5 years later, and thanks to the never-ending lawsuits from all the government entities that were within pissing distance of New York in the last movie, the Ghostbusters have closed shop and moved on with life. Except for Ray and Winston, who are still dressing up and fighting slime-producing goblins, only their children this time, not ghosts. Dana is now a mom, but she's a mom who stole the pram from the set of Rosemary's Baby, and while talking to someone on the sidewalk, her baby takes a ride in the stroller into traffic. Convinced it must have been some malevolent apparition that tried to kill her baby, and not her lack of parental skills, she enlists Egon and Ray to investigate. Peter gets wind and tags along as they interview mom and baby, and then dig a big hole in the middle of the street. The hole takes them down to a river of lube that tries to eat Ray, and after some experimentation, they find out that the lube responds to both positive and negative emotions. So mood lube. Meanwhile, Dana is no longer on the symphony, but is now an art restorer, because the plot revolves around an old wizard who's trapped in a painting named Vigo that's the unholy literary love child of Vlad Dracul and Rasputin after a drunken night of all-you-can-drink appletinis and beat poetry at the local college bar. The head of the art museum, Janoj, has the hots for Dana, and Vigo promises him an all-access pass if he can steal her child for Vigo to possess. Louis and Janine are back as well, though Louis is now an attorney who unsuccessfully defends Peter, Egon, and Ray from criminal charges after their late-night road construction project. But it's okay, because the giant flask of mood lube picked up on the judge's paranormal angst and conjured up some ghosts for the Ghostbusters to bust, which changes his mind and he drops all the charges. Then the shit hits the fan as the Lubazon River flows directly to the art museum to cover it in an oozy shell, while the ghost of Mary Poppins steals Dana's child. The Ghostbusters go to see the mayor, who once again denies there's anything wrong until the sky turns cloudy like it's about to storm, then suddenly he's convinced. However, his PR guy commits the guys to the loony bin, where they get immediate therapy, until the mayor finds out and fires his PR guy and orders the Ghostbusters freed so they can destroy a national landmark by marching the Statue of Liberty through the streets of New York. The happy music from Lady Liberty punches a hole in the KY armor surrounding the museum, and the guys drop down to shoot proton beams and happy gel at everything until Vigo is shoved back into the painting where he blows up, because reasons, the Ghostbusters are once again heroes and roll a montage of cutscenes as the credits roll, credits.
All right, 1989's Ghostbusters 2, the rehash of the original Ghostbusters where they tried to trap lightning in a bottle again and failed miserably. What'd you guys think?
Yeah.
John?
I concur.
Yeah. Rob?
Yeah, I don't know why this was considered Ghostbusters.
Well, I mean, it had the Ghostbusters. They were kind of busting a ghost or a few ghosts.
Okay, so are you ready for some quabbles?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so here is my quabble. How do ghosts fit into this one? Because you have this mystical guy. Let's say he is a mystic, magic arts or whatever, right? He gets trapped in a painting. Great.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about magic. We're not talking about ghosts. Now all of a sudden we get, because this mystic guy is trying to come back, he can summon ghosts out of his, as you called it, mood lube. I personally said it was hate slime, but mood lube sounds better. But these ghosts can come out of nowhere. Why? Why are the ghosts coming out of the mood lube and all that? What is ghost goo have to do with the hate goo?
Yeah, that's a good question. There seems to be a huge disconnect between the three elements of this movie. So you've got Vigo the Carpathian, which is a mishmash of a couple of people from history. It's Vlad Dracul and Rasputin.
I was thinking Vlad the Impaler. Yeah.
Well, that's Vlad Dracul. Yeah.
No, Impaler sounds cooler.
Okay, whatever.
Yep.
You're an idiot.
Okay. We're not disputing that. We're disputing his last name.
It was Vlad Dracul. It was Vlad Dracul III. He was also called Vlad the Impaler, yes. So, and there's a whole history between him and the Ottoman Empire and So there's a whole history behind the Roman Empire and the Ottoman Empire fighting over Moldavia, and we're not going to go into that. But anyways,
we could. It'd probably be more interesting than what we have to say about this movie.
It probably would. And then you got Rasputin, who was the advisor to the Romanovs right before the Bolshevik Revolution. And, there's the legend where he was killed in so many different ways and supposedly came back to life, but who knows? Anyways, this guy is a mishmash of him. He got trapped in a fucking painting somehow.
Yeah.
They never really explained how he got trapped in a painting. Did he trap himself in a painting? I mean, did somebody paint him before? And he just...
Yeah. Was he trapped?
They never say how how he's embodied into a painting.
Yeah, was he trapped?
Right.
Did he commission somebody to make a painting of him and then decided, hey, I'm going to attach my soul, a la the Dark One from Harry Potter?
I mean, what happens if that painting catches fire?
Right. Is he just fucked?
That's one of the most unsafe things to put, to have yourself embodied in.
Right, because back then they used oils.
Well,
and oils are flammable.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't even think about fire. I mean, just in terms of, you rip it. Do you come out with like a missing arm or something if it's ripped across your arm?
Yeah, all great questions. But you've got Vigo, and then you've got this magic slime that is supposedly produced by all the hate and angst that New Yorkers have, and it's concentrating in this ooze that's flowing underneath the city. So the slime isn't even directly connected to Vigo, although every time you see Vigo in the painting, whenever
there's the river of slime
where he's talking, there's the river of slime behind him. So apparently they're connected somehow. And then you've got the ghosts. Where did the fucking ghosts come from?
The slime.
Apparently they come from the slime somehow, but how did they get in the slime in the first place?
Maybe the slime oozed through the old containment unit that was that the Ghostbusters used in the first movie. They had
the old containment unit wasn't like underground like that.
No,
I mean, I think it was in the basement, but it wasn't that deep. Jesus Christ, they were in a fucking pneumatic tube tunnel.
Well, that and the didn't the vault explode in the first one?
Well, it
cracked
exploded and all the ghosts escaped, and presumably they recaptured all the ghosts and fixed the containment unit. And presumably.
Possibly.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe.
But no, I mean, so you've got three different kinds of like plot points here, or antagonists that are supposed to move the plot along that are disjointed. And they never really, I mean, there's a montage of them coming back as the Ghostbusters where they kind of do some ghost busting. But even then, there was that montage shot of them in some kind of jewelry store or crystal store or something.
Yeah.
And they have some cool lasers that they were playing with, and all the crystals drop. What the fuck was that?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
And then they're out on the streets collecting the pink ooze.
Right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's all disjointed. It's very weird.
Yeah, this was basically let's get Bill Murray's Peter. Let's get Peter and Dana back together so that they can have a happy family, and then throw some ghost busting shit in on top.
Okay, but about Dana, too. So this is 5 years after the first one. So it is implied that they still dated after the end of the first one.
Right.
Then they broke up,
Right.
and then Dana met someone else.
And married.
Got married, had a baby,
And then got divorced.
and got divorced in 5 years.
Yeah. So what's the timeline
Jesus.
on something like that, John?
Hey, she's a modern woman.
You just had a baby, right?
Well, I did.
Well, your wife did, right? So I mean, yeah. I guess you have the baby and you drop her like it's hot. I guess.
Jesus.
I mean,
I guess so. I mean,
She's old news.
they could have
She's
gotten
spoiled
divorced
goods.
while she was pregnant, or sometime after she got pregnant, they got
yeah,
divorced.
but apparently they were into each other enough to get married and start a family
And have a baby. Yeah.
and then he got a job in Europe and said, "Fuck off."
Yeah.
because you can't do art restoration in Europe.
Right. And where did she, I mean, how did she suddenly become an art restoration? I mean, she was a cellist in the first movie.
Because her cello, she had to quit her cello job for her baby because her baby bump was too big. She couldn't get around that cello properly.
Okay, what?
So she can make her way around an easel restoring paintings?
Right.
Yep.
And then
I would
huffing
think of
all
the
of
two.
the fumes while she's pregnant, too.
Right. And I would have thought that of the two jobs, a celloist would be easier to handle with a baby because you're not at a 9-to-5 job necessarily. I mean, I don't know. Do cellists go in, and when you're part of the orchestra, do they go in constantly?
Fuck, why are you asking me?
I don't know. I thought maybe one of you guys was more cultured than I am.
We're both more cultured than you are.
Well,
but
apparently
that's
not,
just
because you don't know how orchestras work.
Anybody is more cultured than you are, Rob.
No.
Anybody.
Not Lewis.
In the list of people who are cultured, where people who are cultured are ranked like from most cultured to least cultured, you're at the very bottom of that list.
Perfect. In that case, let me just start drinking.
I was about to say he was getting ready to open his box of fudge rounds.
I left the fudge rounds downstairs.
Oh, that's tragic. That's just
do
too
have
bad.
a grapefruit juice and Coke Zero.
Yes, you suck out of your fruit box and let the adults speak.
Yeah, well, maybe I should quit doing this because I have to edit these things now.
So, Ernie Hudson, did he have more to do in this
No,
movie?
no,
or about the
he
same as the
didn't.
first one?
No, he still
same.
he still schlepped the proton packs around, and
Like,
then he was the obligatory got nasty and dirty dude.
Yeah, like he shows up with Aykroyd for the kid's birthday, and then you don't see him again for 20 freaking minutes.
Yeah.
It's like, where did Ernie Hudson go?
Yeah, they
And he's not in the court scene.
They so
It's-
misused him in these movies.
Yeah.
It's fucking tragic. In the first movie, so they gave a lot of his scenes to Bill Murray because Bill Murray was the big draw in the first one. But I mean, at this point, Winston is a mainstay of the Ghostbusters. At least give him fucking more screen time than he did in the first movie.
Yeah.
That I don't know. Maybe Murray was had something to do with it.
I don't think Murray had anything to do with it this time. I think they just fucking overlooked Ernie Hudson again.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is a shame. He's a great actor.
Because, I mean, even Harold Ramis didn't get all that much screen time in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, they gave a lot to Bill Murray, and he didn't really do anything.
Well,
It was the
it
Bill
was more
Murray
about
and
the love
Sigourney
story.
Weaver show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barely anything in it, of substance for the movie.
I mean, unpopular opinion, Dana in the first movie could have been played by insert any actress ever. Like, it didn't need to be Sigourney Weaver.
Well, and I think they brought in Sigourney Weaver just to bring in more people too, because she was the hot commodity back then after Alien and Aliens.
Oh yeah, for sure. A much better sci-fi franchise than this.
Much better.
What did she have going on during this? Was she still a hot commodity?
Yeah, she had done several movies. She'd done a few. She did that one romantic comedy with or that one with Harrison Ford. Let's look it up.
I'm looking here. Wikipedia has you digging a few times. She's old as shit, so they have it on a separate...
Yeah, she's like 72.
Yeah, she has it on a separate thing. Gorillas in the Mist?
Oh, yeah, that was a big one for her. Where she played Jane Goodall.
Yeah. So, not really. She had Aliens in 86, Gorillas in the Mist in 88, Working Girl. Oh, that's the one you were thinking of.
Yeah, that's what
Working Girl in 88 as well. And then it's Ghostbusters 2, and then Alien in 89, and then Alien 3 in 92.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it wasn't like... She really didn't have a whole lot in between Ghostbusters. She had Aliens, the second one, but not really a whole heck of a lot in between all of that.
Well, Gorillas in the Mist was a pretty big one.
Was it a big one?
Yeah, it was nominated for like Academy Awards and shit.
Yeah.
Working Girl was a pretty big one.
Oh yeah, she was nominated for Best Actress in that, and then also Supporting Actress in Working Girl. Okay.
Yeah.
So she was on her way at this point.
Yeah, so she was kind of hot at that point. So I can see why they would have kept her on. But even so, they could have gotten anybody for this movie and done the same thing that she did in this one, and it still make as much sense.
Well,
you
and
wouldn't
that's
have had
because
that
the
love
writing.
story.
The writing was
Yeah.
just horrible. I mean, the pacing in this movie kind of sucked. The comedy wasn't nearly as much of a hit in this movie as the first movie.
Mm-mm.
And the special effects, I don't think, were any better than this movie, and they had 5 fucking years between movies.
Oh, the special effects still were just as shit as before.
Right, and this is
stop
5
motion,
years later.
stop motion.
You would think
or whatever.
that special effects had like at least advanced a little bit in between these two movies, and it didn't seem like it did.
No, it really didn't.
Which is odd because ILM did the special effects in this, and ILM was the special effects company at that point.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't throw George Lucas money at them, I guess. I mean, they only had a budget of 30 to 40 million for this one, and somehow it made 215.
Yeah.
Bunch of stoners.
Which the studio considered not a financial success.
They considered it not a financial success?
Yeah. Because
That's
it didn't
insane.
it didn't come in as it didn't come in as high, it didn't gross as much money as the first one.
The first one.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one was 5 million short of 300. That's
right.
Okay. This one made over 200. It did great.
It did fine. I mean, in
fine.
terms of actual financial success, I mean, it made money, but the studio wanted it to make more than the original.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. I don't know. I wasn't impressed with this. I got tired. Yeah. I got tired of Murray. Like,
you got tired of Murray?
In this one, yes. This
How
one,
so?
I just he's just there for the one-liners.
He puts the girl above his friends. Like, you have no faith in him with a PhD whatsoever in this movie.
I mean, and it's just, well, even in the second movie, I mean, at least in the second movie, he was on the, they had him on the ground floor learning about the ghost, or doing the ghost thing and all that. And this one, it was kind of like, okay, I'm only doing it because it involves this girl that I'm trying to hit back up with. But everything that you're doing really doesn't matter. I mean, everything that you're doing doesn't matter to me. Go do your thing, right? I mean,
he was like that in the first one. I mean, he played the character exactly the same as he did the first one.
Yeah, but this one, to me, this one was even. I wouldn't have missed anything if he wasn't in this movie. They could have written him out, and the movie still would have played the same.
Well, that's because the movie sucks, but I think the movie would have sucked even more if he hadn't have been in it. I mean, his character, even though there was way too much Bill Murray in the movie. There was way too much Bill Murray and Dana in the movie. But I think the Bill Murray scenes added enough levity to make it just not a horrible watching experience. It made it to where I didn't want to stab my eyes. I think if Bill Murray wasn't in this movie, I would have fallen asleep easily in the middle, before the middle of the movie.
Sure. I guess I'm somewhere in between both of you guys, because this movie just didn't know if it wanted to be a rom-com, a sci-fi movie, or a scary movie. Mm-hmm. Or a comedy. Like it's kind of a mismatch of all four.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, me too. So, the other thing, let's Statue of Liberty, right?
Yeah.
All right, you spray goo all over the inside of it to get it to move.
Right.
Okay, fine. Then you put the electronics in there so that you can play the music and get it to move.
Right.
And then you go in the water.
Right.
Yeah. Wouldn't the goo have come off and the electronics fried?
Yeah.
Maybe the goo is hydrophobic. I don't know.
Or are we saying the Statue of Liberty is watertight?
Oh, no.
Yeah,
I don't think we're saying
the
Statue of Liberty is watertight.
Not at all.
But that's what you're implying when you, because the electronics are not hydrophobic, right? So you're implying that, the inside of that bad boy is nice and tight.
Or hydrophilic, not hydrophobic, hydrophilic. Yeah.
Isn't hydrophobic where it repels?
I thought it was hydrophilic that makes it repel. Hydrophobic
Rob, would you
be scared.
Let's see. Hydrophilic.
Having a tendency
hydrophilic. Yeah.
Okay.
Rob, would you have preferred
hydrophilic is the opposite of hydrophobic, so I had them backwards.
Have a tendency to mix with, yeah. Yep.
Rob, would you have preferred her like stepping on the Titanic and not getting her feet wet?
Stepping on the Titanic, yeah.
Yeah, just
might
like
as
ride
well.
this little skateboard.
Yeah, right. I mean, the Titanic
Through the
made its
harbor.
way back in, and let everybody out. I don't know.
That's one thing I needed in this movie: a Titanic joke,
a Titanic reference. Yes. Yeah. No, I mean it's just
So they're saying that the events of New York affected the wreck of the Titanic in the far North Atlantic.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. This doesn't make sense at all. I mean, I can get behind the goo causing ghosts and things like that if that's how they wrote it. But they didn't. They wrote it to where the goo was from hate or something, and they made it seem like it was the source of Magic Boy's power. Magic Boy doesn't have, ghost powers. So I don't know.
Yeah, the writing was all over the place on this, it was disjointed. They tried to. It was basically the same formula that they used in the first movie, but they tried to make it different enough to make it into a different movie, so they weren't just totally plagiarizing themselves.
Yeah.
And
so
it didn't work.
Yeah, they tried to make it different. Instead of having a giant marshmallow man, they had a giant Statue of Liberty. Instead of blowing marshmallow goo everywhere, the Statue of Liberty steps on cop cars and then smashes a museum. So we're still causing lots of damage.
Right. Huge amounts of property damage for really no fucking reason.
Yeah, and then instead
also
of
causing a blackout, don't forget that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. First off,
yeah,
that was dumb. That was super dumb. A rusted ass pipe that breaks causes a blackout.
Yeah.
Those pipes would be a little high. Cables would be a little higher.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but there would actually be cables in that conduit instead of just an empty fucking pipe. And third, nobody believed that there was a river of fucking goo down in the subway system or in the pneumatic tube system or whatever the fuck they called it.
What the fuck is a pneumatic tube system? I mean, what is that? Their early years of subways?
Yeah, so it was one of the first prototypes for the New York subway system. It was, and it ran on air.
Yeah, it was like built in the 20s or 30s.
It ran on
air. So they built before that. It was built in the 1800s, late 1800s.
So they pumped air to push the tube?
Yeah. Yeah, they used air to like levitate the train cars or something.
Huh.
But not only that, in order to restore the power, they would have had to have gone down
and seen the river themselves,
and fixed something,
seen all that goo down there. Yeah.
No. They just bypassed it. They took the plug out in one spot and plugged it into another, like a telephone switchboard.
Right.
I mean, it's about one of the only scenes in this movie that actually made me chuckle was them all kind of pretending to put on a New York accent and like, hey, what are you doing? You know, with the whole digging the hole. It was like about one of the only times I actually cracked a smile in this fucking movie.
So this was punishment inadvertently.
For fantasy football? Sure.
Yeah.
We're going back to that?
Yeah.
Well,
so
I mean,
he had to watch Ghostbusters
it.
2.
Yeah. Well, it was either this or what you're going to ask him to do the Matrix, weren't you?
Yeah, the Matrix. So that wouldn't have been as much. Of
a
that
would have been okay for him.
Yeah.
At least the first two movies were decent in that trilogy.
Yeah.
You want to revise that statement?
The first movie is good in that trilogy.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh wow. So we're going to have one of those coming up soon, huh?
Yep.
But hey, you know what? It's always nice to have John on our shows. He's fun to be around. I enjoyed it when he was on Batman that one time in January of 2022.
I'm glad you keep track of when your shows come out.
Yeah. So I mean, that will have been in the future.
Yeah.
Yes.
We time traveled.
Yeah. We recorded it in the past for the future, or did we
don't bring your fucked up schedule time traveling bullshit to my show?
Yeah,
you keep that in your show.
I'll keep that in my pants.
You keep that in your show.
Oh God, I don't want to know what's in your pants.
Oh, you'll find out later.
There's not much.
Yeah, so
it's probably just pink ooze.
It is. Oh, don't you wait. So if I was Dana, I would have just like moved out of New York. Because apparently ghosts have a thing for her. Well,
yeah. How does she end up in the fucking center of all this shit? She was in the center of it the first time because that's where her apartment was. So I understand that.
Yeah, that was.
But now all of a sudden she's working in a totally different fucking career that's really not even related to her previous career.
Right.
And this happens again.
But she can still afford a nice apartment.
That's true.
With a doorman, not a doorman.
Oh yeah, he was the building manager, right? Yeah. So what do y'all think of the music?
Very 90s.
It was very 90s.
Even though this was 89, it was very 90s.
The song playing during the whole Statue of Liberty thing was okay, I guess. I mean, the Ghostbusters tune is iconic, so I mean, you know.
Yeah, but they didn't play it all that much.
Yeah, I mean,
it's in the beginning.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
remember any of these Ghostbuster songs as much as I remembered the original one.
I remember On Our Own, just because they played that a lot back when this movie came out. And I remember not liking it then very much, and I still don't like it now very much.
Okay. I don't remember any of these songs from this movie, right? So like during the credits, you know, it's playing a bunch of different renditions of Ghostbusters.
Right.
I don't remember any of those. But, you know, The minute you say there's something strange in the neighborhood, I know what you're talking about. You know, that one is iconic.
Yeah, and I really wish they would have kept
they should
with
have
that.
Yeah, they
as
should
the
have just
theme
stayed. Yeah, they should have just stuck with it. But they didn't.
instead of trying to come up with something different. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, overall I think the music matched the tone. I mean, it wasn't distracting necessarily. But it wasn't memorable like the original. That's
Yeah.
I don't know.
I couldn't tell you what songs played, and I just watched this morning.
Yeah, and I watched it this afternoon.
I mean, I literally watched it today, and I couldn't tell you a single song that. Hell, I don't even know what song it was that was playing for the Statue of Liberty. You know, I mean, that's how unaffected I was by it.
Oh,
So.
what was the song playing by it? Oh,
Yeah,
it's right at the edge of my fucking memory here.
What was playing at the end?
No. At the end, they started with the original Ghostbusters theme, and then they transitioned to one of the new theme songs, which sucked. But the Statue of Liberty was playing. Oh my gosh!
See, I brought it up, and I don't even remember what song was playing.
It was Higher and Higher.
Oh, Higher and Higher. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep.
Your love.
Don't sing.
Oh yeah. We don't want to do that because then I'd have to get rights, right?
No, that's not the reason.
No, it is.
Yeah,
It
that's
is.
definitely not the reason.
No,
that's,
it is the
that's
reason.
Like,
No.
that's like last on the list
Yeah,
of
that's
reasons
way
why
down
not
on
to.
the list of reasons why we don't want you to sing on the show.
Holy shit! Run DMC did a version of Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that played at the end.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. Flesh and Blood by Danny Elfman. Oingo Boingo.
Yeah, you knew that Danny Elfman was part of Oingo Boingo, right?
Oingo Boingo. No, I didn't. I don't even know who Oingo Boingo is.
Oh my god.
Uncultured
serious?
swine.
Look,
See,
I'm
this
young.
is why you're down at the bottom of the culture list.
Well, that
Very
no, okay.
fucking bottom.
Just because I don't know an American new wave band formed in 1979 doesn't mean that I'm uncultured.
No, it does.
No,
because
they
Oingo Boingo had a lot of fucking hits.
Okay, so I might
And
know
Danny
the hits.
Elfman went on to be a composer in his own right on a lot of shit,
Well,
like
yeah.
many movies, and he wrote the Simpsons theme. If nothing else, you should remember that Danny Elfman wrote the fucking Simpsons theme.
I don't watch The Simpsons like you. I don't
But
have an
you
entire.
know me, right?
I don't have an entire shrine dedicated to The Simpsons.
It's
like
not
you
a
do.
shrine.
It's a shrine. There's
It's
candles.
not a shrine.
There are candles lit up
No.
next to it all the time.
That's too much of a fire hazard.
That's
I
too
wouldn't
much
light
of
candles.
Yeah, because it might catch the boxes on fire
Exactly.
that are covered in dust. Well, probably not
covered
now.
in
They're
dust.
Yeah, they're not now because they're still in a box.
They're still in
when-
boxes. Yes.
When you moved. Yeah, you haven't taken them out and put your shrine back up.
don't
Here,
have
I
a
thought-
shrine.
Here, I thought you were a Simpsons fan. Like how I turned that back on you? Ha. All right. Music. What's next?
So yeah, final thoughts on this because I think we've punched down on this enough.
Don't go somewhere else. Go watch some. You know what? Just if you're looking for a good time, don't watch this. If you're looking for a bad time, skip this one and go to the 2016 series reboot. You'll get the same taste, but better graphics.
You think the 2016 series or the 2016 reboot was better than this?
No, I think it sucked too. But the
But why would you have them watch the 2016 version over this one?
Because the CGI is better.
That's it.
That's it.
He said a shittier movie, but with better CGI.
Correct. Yes. I mean, if you're going to watch a shitty movie that has to do
Or
with
a shitty movie, yeah.
shitty movie that has to do with Ghostbusters, just go watch the reboot. It'll be fine.
No. I would still watch this over the reboot.
I don't know. I've never seen the reboot. I just know that the reboot sucked balls. Like it bombed hard.
I would just watch the animated TV show from my childhood.
Oh, now
again.
that one was pretty good.
That's better than this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was okay. I didn't like the whole Slimer thing. Oh, yeah, they brought this Slimer. They brought Slimer from the fucking TV series into the movie, and that stuck out as like a sore thumb.
Well, Slimer was in the first one, too.
Yeah, once. He was one of the ghosts that they captured.
Yeah. Yeah. And then apparently he became their friend in the cartoon series.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now he, got upgraded to be bus driver.
Yeah, I didn't understand the whole Slimer thing. I thought that stuck out and was dumb.
That's the part you didn't understand? Okay. I mean, this whole movie was a contradiction.
I can like not understand multiple things in a movie, Rob.
Mm-hmm. Can you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's impossible to not understand things as much as you.
Right, yeah.
But.
Yep. Hey, I got a haiku.
Do you?
I do.
I almost don't want to hear it.
No, you want to hear this one. So before I do the haiku, I just want to let you know that because of your pod crawl, you made my haiku better.
Is that right?
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm scared here, Jason.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
The title of this one is Disappointed. River of Mood Lube explodes all over your face, not a porn movie.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I had Hate Slime instead of Mood Lube, but Mood Lube sounded better. So thank you, Jason, for your contribution to the haiku. I will put it in the notes.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right, who's got awards?
Yeah.
I got some.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I watched.
They're all Razzies, by the way.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I watched watched the movie was to get the awards out of the way.
All right, John, who has your head lush?
Are we skipping Black Lung?
Or Black Lung? Sorry, who's got your Black Lung?
Dan Aykroyd, because he's smoking a cigar a few times throughout this movie.
All right, Rob?
Oh, I gave it to Ecto 1A.
Yeah.
Fucker was burning some oil hard.
Yeah, it was. That's a good one. Yeah, so mine's going to go to Ray as well, because, there were 2 or 3 different scenes where he was either chewing on a cigar or smoking a cigar. I think he stole a cigar from the mayor's office.
He did.
Yeah.
He had an uncut, unlit cigar when they went to the mayor's office, yeah.
Yeah, so... All right, Rob, who's got your head lush?
Oh, I'm giving it to Peter and Dana for their dinner wine.
All right. John?
Yeah, ditto. That was mine as well.
Yeah, that's really the only scene that I saw somebody drinking in this, so...
Was this a threesome?
No, it is not. This is not your fucking show.
Some would call it a menage a trois.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
All right, John, who's got your player?
I'm giving it to Rick Moranis' Louis Tully for finally kissing a girl in Janine.
Okay. Rob?
Oh, I gave it to Janine and Louis both. They got hanky-panky with a kid with a baby in the next room. Yep.
All right, so mine is going to go to Dana or not to Dana, but to Peter. Because he got Dana back after she dumped him because he wouldn't ask her to marry him. And then she got married, had a kid, got divorced, and then he moved in, even with her having a kid. So he got her back.
And then gave him a bunch of mixed signals. I mean, taking a shower and running out in a towel? Come on.
Yeah.
If that's not wanting it, I don't know what is.
I don't think that was a mixed signal.
No, it wasn't. But, she still pined for him.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Janus also could have been a pick here, too, because he was putting the moves on Dana throughout the whole movie.
Janus.
Well, he was putting the moves on her, but he wasn't succeeding
He
at
was
all.
succeeding hard. He was crashing, yeah.
Yeah, so. All right, Rob, who's got your purple hippo?
Oh, I gave it to Janus or Janus or Janus or whatever. He
Janoj.
whatever. He just seemed to be a walking purple hippo.
All right, John?
I'm giving it to the lady who was wearing the mink coat after the minks came back to life.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good
and
one.
ran away.
All right, so mine's going to go to the kid, Oscar, because he got possessed or partially possessed by, a bad literary portmanteau. And, he was basically the subject of paranormal kidnapping. He got floated around the room a lot. He had a really weird fucking time in this movie.
Do you think he'll remember that?
I don't know. Maybe. Does it matter?
No, not really.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Unless that baby is in Ghostbusters Afterlife. Like, that baby's grown up.
No, because we're dealing with Egon's family in this, right?
Maybe. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We'll find out next week when it comes out. Doesn't it come out next week?
Yeah.
The movie? Yeah. Yeah. I might go watch it.
I don't know. I might skip this one.
Might skip it.
Yeah.
What are we doing next week?
Let's find out. I don't know what we're doing next week. Should we roll randomly for it?
No, because I know what it is.
How do you know what it is?
Because you put it on the calendar. I mean, why else?
Oh.
Why else would we subject ourselves to this? And this wasn't even random if we weren't going to go watch the continuation piece with, God, I hope is going to be better with Paul Rudd in it.
You really want to watch Ghostbusters Afterlife after watching this
No,
one?
I don't, but you're going to make me.
I'm not going to make you do anything.
Unless you're pulling an audible, and we are doing random. And then I'm okay with that.
Yeah, let's just pull a random.
Seriously?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. I'm not entirely, wanting to watch Ghostbusters Afterlife, at least not at theaters.
I mean, I got no dog in this fight.
When
It's your guys' show.
When it shows up to rent, all right.
Okay. All right. So, John, you're going to pick the number. Rob, you're going to tell me when to stop.
Oh, man.
So, John, you need to pick a number between 1 and 154.
Holy wait a minute.
All right. 153.
Okay. Rob, tell me when to stop.
Does it really matter when I say it, or is it just going to be pseudo-random and Ghostbusters Afterlife is going to show up?
Just tell me when to stop.
Stop. So
Right.
Next week, we are reviewing the movie that comes out next week. Ghostbusters Afterlife. No. Ghostbusters.
All right, so next week we're
2016.
going to be reviewing the movie where a single mom and her 2 kids arrive in a small town, and they begin to discover the connection between the
Fucking
original
hate you
Ghostbusters
so much.
and the secret legacy their grandfather left behind. This stars Finn Wolford, McKenna Grace, and Carrie Coon. It is 2021's Ghostbusters Afterlife. Fuck you, Rob. You have to watch it.
Oh, I can't believe it.
Wow. He got you.
Yo, so got me. So got me. I didn't see the writing on that wall at all.
Yeah. All right. So, John, Video Game Lounge, what are you guys covering?
All right. So our next episode, we're talking about games that we're looking forward to coming out next year. So stay tuned for that one. That'll be coming out next Monday.
So as a preview, what are you looking forward to next year?
For me personally, it'll be God of War Ragnarok, continuation of what is one of my favorite games from this generation, God of War 2018, and Horizon Forbidden West, which is the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, yeah.
Those are 2 of mine.
Yeah, I don't have a PS5, so...
You don't need a PS5. You can play both on PS4.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Sweet. I played the first one. I didn't know they were doing Forbidden West on PS4 too.
Yep.
Sweet. Well,
It's because nobody can get their hands on a PS5.
That's true.
This is true.
That's true. I'm glad you got on. You gave me something to look forward to, John. Thanks.
All right. I'm glad I lost.
Hey, you know what?
So I could...
You know what? You can come and review Batman Begins with me back in February.
All right, sounds good. I look forward to doing that recording with you, Rob.
I do too. I hear it was a pretty good recording.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're an idiot, Rob. John, where can they find you?
You can find us on CreativeBrainCandy.com, Video Game Lounge. You can also find us on Twitter, VGL_podcast. And I've been trying to post a little bit more on Instagram at VGL Podcast. So that's where you can find us.
All right. So next week we're going to do Ghostbusters Afterlife, and that's all we've got for this week. Our intro and outro music is Welcome Home by Campo.
Jason, I'm back. It's Christopher Walken. There he goes.
If you like the show, please
He's
rate and
laughing.
review us
He
on
can't
iTunes.
contain
You can leave us
himself.
feedback on our Discord
Wow.
channel at smokinganddrinkinginspace.com/Discord.
Ghostbusters.
On Twitter at @status_podcast.
Keep it together,
you can
man.
email us
Come
at
on.
smokinganddrinkinginspace
Wow.
at outlook.com. If you'd like to throw a few nickels our way, become a Patreon supporter by going to smokinganddrinkinginspace.com/Patreon. And for this week, I'm Jason.
Your love,
God,
it's lifting
no.
me high.
Stop.
What?
Oh, God.
No?
No.
Fine. Where's the mood loop?
We'll talk to you next week.
In his ass.
Oh, yeah, it is. Wait, no. No, I need the mood loop for my ass.